Hello my friends, let's go straight to the front line. So yesterday Russians claimed that they liberated Chasiv Yar fully, but no, it's not even close like that. Yeah, they propelled a little forward, but this area is still under Ukrainian control. Yeah, many of the quarters actually. And what is also interesting is this place where Russia deployed some of the armored vehicles with lots of the army personnel. We have the drone camera video. Let me show you. It happened in Pivnichny district, the northwestern part of the city. There Russians went with two of the army personnel carrier vehicles. They gathered their forces not far away from the ruined buildings, and it seems like they were planning the next assault. 17 of the soldiers were deployed, and some of them were women. Our guys counted 5 women from 17 of the soldiers totally. Probably those women went to the Russian army from the prisons in Russia. There were multiple of the reports that the Russian army is hiring also females in army. Well, after the short conversation, group decided to split into the smaller groups, at least 3. Couple of the groups went to the bushes and one to the ruined building. What happened next? Well, Ukraine started to use some of the artillery shelling. Vehicles immediately started to leave the area. Ukraine intensified the strikes with heavy artillery systems, 155mm at least, maybe something even bigger, at least judging on this video I might tell you. And even one of the Russian vehicles was hit. As the outcome of the strike, all of the group was zeroed, but mostly they were wounded. So KA just 2 persons, 11 persons later on were taken by the Russian evacuation teams. So it seems like just 4 Russian soldiers made it alive from this ambushment. And it's just to show you guys of what is happening on the ground. Then we see the red area advancement like it happened yesterday. We might think, okay, Russian army has huge advantage. They propel forward, they take more ground. But in fact, the situation on the ground shows that they have tremendous losses. It's not okay for any sort of the army, including the Russian one. It's much bigger than Ukraine, but they also have way more losses compared to Ukrainian side. Ukraine is in defense, Russians are in offense, and they lose way more, way more compared to Ukraine. And right here we have the evidence that Ukraine is capable to ambush Russians on their controlled territory. If it is red, it doesn't mean that there is the physical or invisible wall behind which Ukraine is unable to send drones or artillery. No, it's the battlefield. Everything of this is battlefield. Russians are getting ambushed behind the front lines as well. But unfortunately, they also target Ukrainian artillery, like for example here, it's already in Konstantinovka. You see, Russian drones were spotted, so their goal is to advance to Konstantinovka in general. Here you see the intensity of the fights not far away from Toretsk. So Russia wants to push further to this lake, and from this lake they want to advance to Konstantinovka. I expect actually the battle for Konstantinovka to start maybe in a couple of months. So yeah, Chasiv Yar, you saw the picture, Russians took this ground, expanding the gray zone, but it's not okay for them at all in Chasiv Yar. And what they say about liberation is the pure fake. And about those flags in Chasiv Yar, it is mostly a PR campaign from the Russian army to report to the highest chiefs that they've liberated the Chasiv Yar. So the reports with pictures with the Russian flags were delivered maybe even to Putin. But in fact, the situation for those Russians, it wasn't really good. So this is the Russian soldier with a flag, one more with a flag, and it was filmed on Ukrainian camera already. And if it is filmed on Ukrainian camera, you understand what happened to those soldiers. Yeah, they were caputed by drones, and here we may see Ukrainian flag already. So I would put under the question the success of the Russian army in Chasiv Yar yesterday. Alright, the small but counteroffensive operation of Ukrainian army in Grenkivka. This is the border between Kharkiv and Lugansk regions. There Ukraine definitely liberated the remains of the village, because those are just remains. For sure, there is no building which survived the war. Where it happened on the map? Well, it's here. So Grenkivka, sorry, not Grenkivka, but Grenkivka, and here Ukraine counterattack, liberated, I guess, few of the houses left or ruins left there. So very small village here. Let's discover this pocket a little more. Let's go to Torets. So it was yesterday and it is today. There is the light movement of the Russian army in the city itself. And also they expanded the gray area over here. Well, it's not something extraordinary or special, but Russia keeps pressing Ukrainian forces from every side of this pocket, and the Russians' goal is to reach Konstantinovka. It is obvious. But Pokrovsk and Mirnograd, there are no changes for the last 24 hours, so Russian assault slowed down. I think they want to expand this bridgehead at first and only after that try to get Rodinske under control. In Kamar direction, over here there was the expansion of the Russian-controlled territory in Zeleny High, so yesterday and today, also expansion of this area. Plus a small Russian assault towards Malivka, yeah, just a little movement. A couple of days ago Ukraine performed a counterattack here, pushing Russians out. So if we weigh the resources of the Russian army and the Ukrainian one, I would say that the situation on the front lines, it is not critical at all. It could have been way worse, and the Ukrainian army, well, it still has the support from our allies. We're very grateful for it. Looks like Russian book or something here, which was later on hit by Ukrainian drone. Yeah, it happens regularly. So tried to escape, but was hit. Yeah, Ukrainian drones chase everything, especially those kind of the clumsy targets. Bada boom. Oh my god, a unique operation was conducted by Ukrainian soldiers. They delivered this e-bike to one of the wounded Ukrainian soldiers who was trapped behind the front line, so Ukraine couldn't send the evacuation team because they could be ambushed, so the solution is to send the bicycle. And you can see that our guy went from this area. Yeah, it is crazy. So they asked him with his wound whether he can cycle, and he said, yeah, I can, so deliver me some of the bike. And they did it, and the guy just went through the field roads on this e-bike. Wow, fantastic. Our guy said, yeah, sometimes it could happen like that, so bike weight was 40 kilos, and the drone which delivered the bike wasn't really able, according to characteristics, unable to carry this weight, but still they deliver it. Drone managed to do it. Oh my god. It is something really new that I see in this war. And yeah, I'm very happy that the Ukrainian soldier made it out alive. An interesting video here, not because Ukrainian drone hit tank, it's kind of the usual thing actually to happen on the front lines, then Russia deploys the tanks, but the wider picture is interesting, as you may see. So Ukraine prepared this kind of the anti-tank trench at the border between Donetsk and Dnipropetrovsk regions. And I don't know what forced the Russian tankists to go there straight to this trench. Like, is it not understandable that you cannot go over it, that you'll stuck there? Even with mighty hunger tanks. So what's the purpose of this attack? So obviously Ukrainian drones made the job very well and the tank is no-go. As for me, this is the definition of stupidity, but this is how Russian army fights. Oh, what a beautiful video. This is MiG-29, Ukrainian fighter jet. Very close flight, probably with the other MiG-29. Barrel roll, very easily made. You can see Ukrainian colors there. They're made especially for people on the ground to see that it's the Ukrainian airplane, not to shut it down, because especially at the beginning of the war there were the cases with the friendly fire, so then people see blue and yellow, they understand that it's Ukrainian jet, and it's better not to fire Strela M, Manpad or Stinger or something like that. As our pilots say, it's some sort of the anti-fool system to paint the airplane like that. Oh my... Taste it, just look at the... Oh my god. They are forced to drink this nasty water. It is crazy. Hello everyone, we drink this kind of the water, and yeah, there seems to be happy, yeah? Millionaires after all. Oh my god, even Donny is saying about significant losses in the Russian army. I have just been informed that almost 20,000 Russian soldiers died this month in the ridiculous war with the Ukraine. 20,000 KA, because Russia increased the intensity of the fights on the front lines. And Russia has lost 112,500 soldiers since the beginning of the year. That is a lot of unnecessary KA. Yeah, but Putin doesn't care. Like, even Donny tells about it to Putin. Putin, are you crazy? Look at those losses. Just imagine United States Army, mighty army, would lose that number of the forces. It could be the tragedy of the tragedies, but for Russia, everything is normal, like, and for Russian people as well, you know. Nothing happens. Those millionaires are just going to Ukraine to die. It's their will. They're choosing it. That's ridiculous. Even for Donny, it looks ridiculous indeed. Ukraine, however, has also suffered greatly. They have lost approximately 8,000 soldiers since January the 1st. So according to these statistics, Trump's statistics, Ukraine lost how many times less compared to Russia? So this year, at the beginning of this year, and here is also January the 1st, the beginning of the year, you may calculate Russia lost at least 15 times more compared to Ukrainian army, according to Donny and according to Mark Ruby as well. Yeah, this number does not include missing. Yeah. He says about KA. Ukraine has also lost civilians, but in smaller numbers as Russian rockets crash into Kiev. Yeah, like yesterday it was the strike on residential building. I told it in my video, and there were at least 30 people who lost their lives. And other Ukrainian cities, I think he meant this. This war that should have never happened, this is by the... Okay, yeah. Not Trump's war, it's not me. I want to finish it in 24 hours. And just give weapons to Ukraine in this case. That's it. Go for it, fully in Donny, and everyone would like you. I put this post here from Donny just to show you that definitely Russia has way more losses compared to Ukraine. It is like that according to any sort of the statistics. Ukrainian one, Donald Trump's one, Institute for the Study of War, British military intelligence, everyone say that Russia is losing way more compared to Ukraine. But still, Russians are going there in attacks like zombies. Well, hopefully someday they will be finished, and Ukraine needs to work more on quality because Russia has more quantity. Well guys, I hope to film one more video today because it was the frontline update, and I have also some of the interesting news to share with you. News about Ukraine. And please don't forget to check out my Patreon page. It's in the video description right below, where you may support this channel. If you don't have this opportunity, just press your huge like to this video, and I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.